2021 was a good year for film. Let's shit on it.
Let's shit on shit.
Yes.
Pretty much.
We've just talked about our best films, our favourite films of 2021. Now we're going to talk about our worst/least favourite of 2021.
Yep.
Shall we just get straight into it?
Let's fucking get straight into it. You can start.
I'll start this time.
I started the last one.
My number 5 was Venom. This movie was average. The only redeeming quality was Tom Hardy.
Just like the first one, pretty much.
Yeah. It was a mess. It really was a mess. It didn't need to be made. It added absolutely nothing, except for the post-credits, which have been reversed. So what was the point in that?
Yeah, they're almost like Transformers movies in a way. Like, they just come out, the story doesn't really matter, and it just ends like with...
Wow, not
like,
even. At least the first few Transformers were good.
I don't know.
This fucking sucks.
I don't disagree with you, but I also just... I don't know. Like, I didn't hate it.
It was entertaining at some points, but...
Anything with Tom Hardy in it, I automatically dislike, so...
That is why it's only number 5.
Yeah, but I also thought it was shit, but I did just like it as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd ever watch it.
I don't know. I don't even really know if I want to say anything more about it. Like, it just fucking sucked.
You've put in as much
writing was
effort
poor.
as I think the writers and producers put into it.
Woody Harrelson... He's good. I like Woody Harrelson, but
he didn't do anything really in the movie.
Him as himself, or him as like Cletus Cassidy or whatever his name was decent. But then when he became Carnage, it was like, well, like they didn't even match as a symbiote. I just didn't really
feel like Carnage was even. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my number 5. Let's just move on.
Let's fucking move on. My number 5 was The Conjuring 3.
I have not seen it.
Don't honestly bother. First 2 Conjurings, actually pretty decent horror movies. Some of the best of the last decade. Directed by James Wan, who's kind of just like a horror mastermind. Mm-hmm. I don't think he might have been a producer on this one, but I don't think he was involved in the writing or directing, which you can fucking tell. I honestly don't remember that's the thing. I just watched this movie and it was so boring and unscary and just
not what you want a Conjuring movie to be.
Unintentionally comedic in parts as well. And the main antagonist was like some nun who was doing spells or summoning demons in her basement.
Get in the bin.
I don't know. That was especially compared to because all the Conjuring spin-offs are pretty fucking terrible. Yeah. You can tell they're all kind of just more like cash grabby, and this felt just like one of those. It didn't feel like one of the main Conjuring movies. And yeah, kind of same thing. Like I just want to get past it. Let's go to the next one.
Well, let's keep on scary movies, scarily shit movies. Yeah. Halloween Kills was my number 4.
Yeah.
This movie was garbage, especially the ending. Yeah. Because it had this big payoff where they caught what's his name, Michael Myers, and they killed him. But then they didn't kill him, and he kills everyone and escapes.
Set up like the Undertaker.
Like, what the fuck?
This movie is higher up on my list, I'll say that now, but I won't tell you what number it is.
It's not number 1, is it?
No.
Okay. But, I think we might have the same, maybe.
I think it might have been number 3, but I'll say my thoughts on it in a few more places.
Yeah.
Spoiler, but...
Yeah, it was just fucking garbage.
You don't even...
I don't. Again,
should I just talk about it now and then just skip over it when I get to my number 3? I might as well. Yeah. This movie, was a fucking
flop
piece of
garbage.
Shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know how else to describe it, but it just is an absolute piece of shit. I didn't like the last one that came out either. This movie was just. What even was what was it?
It was people in a hospital chasing the wrong man for half of the movie.
Even though they knew...
They literally just had to stop and listen to someone.
And they saw on the TV that there were 2 escapes. They made an innocent
man kill himself.
Yeah. Well, not
surely
innocent, just psycho.
What, just because you're psycho doesn't mean he committed crimes.
Yeah, no.
Again, surely you can look at the height of Michael Myers compared to the height of the guy they were trying to kill. Yeah. And realise it's not the right person.
The only redeeming quality of this movie was the kills, and even then I absolutely didn't give a fuck. I hate every single character in this movie.
They were so dumb.
Especially Jamie Lee Curtis's family, like her daughter her granddaughter and all of them, like, you're meant to care about them, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I feel like at the end, when her daughter gets murdered, like, the audience was probably meant to not want that to happen. Like, I felt like jerking off. Like, that's how much I actually enjoyed watching the life leave her eyes.
My personal favourite was when the black bitch died.
Is that the one who shot herself in the head accidentally? That was fucking hilarious. I wish they had more.
Just make it a comedy, make it like funny shit.
Yeah, because the kills were kind of over the top, but they needed to be like a whole, almost like another level of absolutely dumb.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the same time they're kind of. It's like they're trying to keep it realistic, but at the same time they're like, oh, Michael Myers is a fucking undead zombie.
My favourite part of watching this was then going and learning about all the other Halloweens and how fucking shit they are.
Like, what, the 10 timelines with the 1,000 remakes and reboots and
I also
everything.
got into Jason, Friday the 13th a bit more.
So the Jason movies, I think they, like, obviously...
Jason X.
Yeah, especially.
I went and watched that. Fucking hilarious.
Exactly, like that. It's like a comedy. Like, that's what these need to be because they're so dumb anyway.
I think the problem is they kind of, in the first one, they'd already kind of set their pace.
Yeah.
So they kind of had to stick with it, but
like when you look of this, there's going to be a third one of these coming out.
Yeah,
when you look
I think
at
it must be this year, surely.
Yeah, it might be actually. Like, but when you look at this as a trilogy, it's like what has happened over these movies. Like, like the absolute most it's just fucking. It was so bad. I didn't care about anything, and like the whole preachy philosophy where they were like, oh, he's cursing the town or whatever and everything. It's like, and like they thought he was coming back especially for them and like realistically he was just going around and walking around and killing people. Yeah,
like that's what they just need to embrace now. Like, fuck the connection between him and Laurie or whatever her name is. And it's just about him being a psycho wanting to kill people.
And the whole thing that they kind of marketed, especially the one before this one, was like that they were going to have like a final showdown, and she'd kind of trained herself to be like a killer that could take him on. And just nothing ever even ended up happening.
She spends this whole movie in hospital.
And then I guess that's what we're going to see in the next one, but then
the next one's just going to take place right after.
So it's almost like they've made 2 movies to make one more movie.
Yeah.
So like all of these are just cash grabs.
Fuck them.
Fucking.
What's your number 4?
My number 4, another horror movie. So my 3, 4, and 5 have all been horrors. My number 4 was Candyman. Another remake, reboot, whatever. Fuck, this was the most boring, weird, white hating thing. I don't know. Like, in this movie, Candyman is a black man pretty much coming to kill white people and send them out of the ghetto.
Is it racist?
I don't know.
There's racial motive.
Can he be racist towards white people? Probably.
I think it's a hate crime. I don't know if he can be racist.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like just like as a white person, I don't have any right to talk on racial issues or anything.
No, definitely not.
Like, I obviously don't. But like, I don't know. There's something about like when they're just like, oh, this is such a white thing. Oh, you white people, like the entire I don't care about it like really, but
it's like a stupid concept.
It was like the entire movie. They were just like saying like, oh, this is like what white people do and stuff like that. And I was just kind of like,
that would be fine in like a comedy, I feel, but maybe not in like a horror movie.
I don't know, it was just weird. And then it was pretty much about this guy who was like an artist, and then I don't know, some bullshit with the Candyman, and he's pretty much like becoming the Candyman because of the art, or like he creates this art piece or something that brings back Candyman, but like he's actually becoming Candyman, and it's almost like just the most insane movie you could ever think of. Like he just starts melting and going psycho, and
Candyman died with Jump Jam. Who can make the sun rise?
Oh yeah. And it was just so fucking random, eh? Like, I just can't even really describe everything that happened, and I don't even really want to relive it. But it was just, all I wanted Candyman to be was like him, some guy with a fucking hook coming back and murdering people. That's like Candyman. And they tried to make it this movie. It was written by Jordan Peele, I think, or he had some involvement. It tried to be just way too focused on like racial issues and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't know, I just didn't really like come to Candyman for this reason. And
because you're racist as well, which doesn't help. Like,
and it just seemed to get way too caught up on that at the expense of like an actual good horror movie,
like gore and shit.
And it was honestly just it was insanity. But yeah.
Well, shall we move on to my number 3, which is a movie about black man killing people that was also really boring.
Not Candyman though.
No, Tom Clancy.
Oh,
With Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
You're a scumbag. You told me to watch this movie because we were going to review it.
well, I took it. Our Candyman can be my equivalent of this.
No, because I didn't watch that.
Yeah, but I didn't watch that.
Man, this movie fucking sucked.
No, but that was because I was gonna watch it, but then you said how bad it was, and then I just never wanted to watch it.
It was so boring. I haven't even finished it yet. I could
Didn't
not.
need to.
It was so. I literally want to say as little about this as possible because it was so garbage.
It's a shame though, because Michael B. Jordan.
Hey, Michael B. Jordan is incredible.
With some Clancy source material,
just
like,
not in this.
You
like,
think it would be a recipe for not failure?
It was a recipe for poison gumbo or something. Like, it was so bad. The story.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't faithful to the Clancy novels as well. I think it was a bit.
Oh, forget Clancy. This was bloody Clancy.
This was a bit.
Like Black Clancy.
This was Clarence.
This was KK Clancy. Like, bad.
KK Kill Me.
This movie fucking sucked, and that's all I want to say on it. Just. Don't go watch
Michael B. Jordan, I know you're watching. You can do better.
Yeah.
You can do better than this.
He wasn't bad. The whole movie just
the
sucked.
movie
It was
was
just
shit.
awful.
Yeah.
I would not recommend it to my worst enemy.
It was an Amazon Prime original.
I don't know. I fucking hate you for making me watch it.
Yeah. But
Yep.
Sorry.
Well, your number 3's Halloween.
my number 3 was Halloween, so...
Do I just move on to my number 2?
Yeah, you go to your number 2, yeah. Something even worse than Tom Clancy.
We like to gamble. I would love to go to Las Vegas. I would not love to go to Las Vegas if there was a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Army of the Dead.
This was my number 1.
Ah, okay.
I'll just say it now because fuck.
Man, my number 1, I'm kind of annoyed that it's not even on your list.
What isn't?
We'll get to my number 1.
I still have my number 2.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
it might be your number 1.
Okay.
But I'm not
But yeah, this
entirely
movie
sure.
was so... the pacing on this movie was so awful.
I say with full confidence, this is my least favourite movie of all time.
My
no
number
shit.
1 is this is my number 2
Okay.
least favourite movie of all
Well,
time.
I'm not even lying. Like, people will say, well, might think I'm over-exaggerating. This is my least favourite movie of all time. Never have I ever taken it took me like 3 days to fully watch this movie, which, like, usually...
It felt like it took me 3 days.
But it literally did. And usually if a movie is that bad, like...
You'll just
usually
bin it
if a
off.
movie is bad, like, I can still watch the whole movie and be like, oh, that was shit. But,
Yeah.
but no, this movie, I literally just had to stop it.
Can you look up what the actual runtime of this movie?
It was like 3 hours, but honestly...
It went for 3 hours, but...
Nothing happened. It was like the most... There were... All they... Like...
I'm
honestly
positive. I'm positive I had a nap and woke up and this movie had aged like 10 minutes from where it last was.
Yeah, because there's all this build up at the start of them finding all these characters which you like
Don't give a fuck
they
about.
have like no characterization, you don't care about, none of them are interesting, no one's really even good at acting. Batista does nothing the entire movie. There's like some shitty backstory about like him killing his wife or something, wasn't there? Becoming a zombie. But then like this...
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, his wife. And his daughter hasn't forgiven him, but...
It was 148 minutes. Yeah, there was meant to be some bullshit with like his daughter
that's only like 2.5. Oh, no, it is
this
like
movie
2.5.
felt like it felt like 10 hours. But like you could skip half an hour forward each time and it would
And
just
you
be
would
them.
progress,
It
like,
would just
5
be them
minutes.
walking. Like
Yeah.
all they did, they got. It took 1,000 years to get there. They got.
And then the payoff was so shit as well.
I was like, oh, it's like a zombie heist movie in Las Vegas. That sounds sick. And then it's like all they're doing is walking. Like there was like no action in this movie at all, which like blew me away because it was a Zack Snyder movie. There was like no action.
Did he direct it?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. So like the only action scene I can even remember was that chick with like the Rambo headband gets lost from the crew and then is having to fight them off herself.
I've genuinely tuned out this movie from
but
my
not
head.
because it was good, because it was like the only action scene of the entire movie, pretty much.
The tiger looked like shit.
Yeah, just it was so.
The best character was probably
and
the
it was just
Vault kid.
Yeah, it was just devoid of any kind of substance I could ever think, and there was some bullshit with the Vault as well. Did one of them die there? Or like that black
One of
guy?
them locked himself in because the zombies ended up getting in, but
I've tried just to not think about this movie at all, and I'm not going back to like rewatch it for notes for this video. Like, this is my least favorite movie of all time. I don't know how I could ever hate anything more than this.
Wow. Let me remind you.
Yeah.
What's your number 2? Because is your number 2 my number 1?
Oh, I feel like I know what your number 1 is, but my number 2 is Red Notice with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Man, I love this movie.
Did you?
No, I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. Go talk about this movie, and then I'll talk about my number 1.
Red Notice, kind of just similar like problems I have with Army of the Dead, except it just was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds
playing
all playing themselves in this movie that doesn't make any sense at all.
The plot twist at the end.
It costs $200 million when all they do is inside some rooms the entire time. Like, there's no action really that's memorable at all. But you know that this
movie made its money back. That's the sad thing.
Well, it was like the biggest Netflix movie of all time, I think,
that's what I mean, like.
And then, like, at the end, it turns out The Rock was actually in on it the whole time, which just brings into question why the entire movie even happened. We have a review. I have nothing else for it. I'm sorry, I hated it so much.
Well, let me break it down.
Is it something else starring what? Formerly starring Dwayne. I know what it is.
Oh my god, the worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
Fast 9.
Yeah, I knew. I was thinking that's what it was going to be.
This was the most garbage shit I have ever seen. The story. John Cena was the only good part of this movie, and it's because his name was John Cena.
And he does nothing.
His character wasn't even that good.
All he does is get beaten up by Vince with ease, even though he's the special op, like the fucking spec cop agent.
Yeah, and then he like turns face at the end. Like, why?
Because it's John.
Vin Diesel is a fucking scumbag.
Vin Diesel shouldn't be in movies.
He's a pervert. Have you've seen the interview of him for XXX, and it's like he's like flirting with the chick, like, oh my god, like, she's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Have you seen that one?
Sus. I could imagine him being gay.
He fully is. He rims assholes for fun.
Just not Dwayne's.
No.
This
movie it was so bad.
It was like the other ones before this were bad, but like
this was so unrealistic. They went to space in a fucking like a DeLorean or something.
They went to space in a Fast and Furious movie. They actually went to fucking space and flew through a satellite.
And then they fucking.
Remember Tyrese got shot about 50 times and just...
Remember Vin Diesel survived an explosion in like a fucking tunnel?
Remember he used his bare strength to pull down like the concrete reinforced fucking dam or whatever it was around him to take them all out, because Vin Diesel is the strongest man in the world.
Vin Diesel was literally a fucking street racer. He must be taking the most pure steroids out.
And all that backstory with like... Vin and John, like, we're in the 9th movie in the franchise. It's too late for some kind of backstory to bring up. Like, I'm not believing any of it that's happening.
And then fucking Han survives? Brought back for nothing.
They don't care at this point.
And then they tease Paul Walker at the end because his car's there, remember?
Yeah.
And family. Man, that's the only thing that makes this movie good is family.
Yeah.
Fuck family. This movie was garbage.
I just didn't care enough about this to even put this on my list.
No, neither did I.
But yeah, it just had to be number 1.
But it keeps me up at night how shit this movie is.
Like, this was your... The thing is, like, at least...
Honestly, my two least favourite movies of all time.
At least compared to Army of the Dead, this had action in it that was kind of like...
But it was the stupidest action of all time. Even though it was so
stupid, it was still like...
I paid money for this.
It was still done well for what it was, even though it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
At least with Army of the Dead, I can binge off my parents' Netflix and... No. Actually, to be fair, I downloaded Army of the Dead.
Fuck no.
But...
Army of the Dead's the worst movie I've ever seen.
My top 3 movies of all time...
Ever? Favourite or least favourite?
Worst. Yeah. Worst movie I've ever seen. Fast 9... 1, Trainwreck 2, Army of the Dead 3.
Okay, Army of the Dead's my number 1, and I don't even know what else would be cool. Actually, I don't know a few contenders, but never have I been just so sure that this is like the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, 2021, man.
Watching Army of the Dead.
2 of my top 3 least favourite movies of all time. I would love to just line everyone up and just give them a punch in the face, except for John. Like, fuck everyone that is involved in the Fast and Furious franchise. That shit died at Tokyo Drift.
It died when Han died the first time.
Like, change it. Like, there should be a whole new series from Fast and Furious. It should not have the same characters. I should not be able to go watch one movie and have Vin Diesel be a little street racing bitch boy.
Yeah, watch Fast and Furious 1 and this back to back, and you'll be like,
what the fuck?
What universe have I ended?
This should be a whole separate franchise.
Surely it's just going to be like a sky portal with aliens coming down the next one, and Vin Diesel will
I have
like
no idea what they're
I'm
doing.
surprised Vin Diesel hasn't given himself like an Iron Man suit or something in one of these movies, or like a suit.
He doesn't need an Iron Man suit. That's the thing. He's just
he doesn't.
He's built.
He's better than all the Marvel heroes,
exactly.
and he knows he is.
Man, I fucking hate this movie.
It was bad.
And then what was your number one? Army of the Dead.
It was Army of the Dead, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, round off, that shit fucking sucked as well. But I've never come out of a movie more infuriated than with Fast and Furious. We have reviews for all of these, so if you actually want our in-depth thoughts, go and watch them. But man, this shit
Fast
fucking
and Furious
sucked.
was bad.
But yeah.
But I feel like that... Like at that point, I was fully checked out anyway of the series.
Thing. I've only watched it once. Like you actually went and watched it twice, so you knew what was coming. Like,
but like even just like the series as a whole, like I went in thinking this was probably going to be the worst thing I've ever seen.
I haven't watched them since like 6.
Yeah.
The first one with Dwayne, I think, is that 6?
That was 5.
5. Wow.
That was actually alright.
What was 6 then?
6 was
the last one I watched was when they dragged the vault through
that was
Brazil.
5, yeah.
Well, then 5. And 6, Paul Walker died in 6, didn't he? Or 7?
No, he didn't die.
Brian?
No, because he just left.
Okay, Brian left.
Remember, he literally comes back at the end of 9.
That's why they didn't kill him off, because you could set it up for him to come back.
Well, but he's dead.
Yeah, but once Vin Diesel will figure out computer-generated technology to make Paul Walker come back to life.
Paul spoke to me in my dreams and told me this is what he wanted.
We're family, man.
Yeah.
Fuck Paul Walker. No, not fuck Paul Walker.
Paul Walker was almost like the only reason these movies were even kind of decent, and then he was gone. So.
Man, fuck Vin Diesel. Yeah. Is that all we've got to say?
Yep.
Let us know in the comments what your least favourite movie is of 2021.
And of all time as well.
And of all time, yeah. Because fuck, man.
The fact Army of the Dead doesn't have like a 0 out of 10 on everything. Like, I don't know how anyone could watch that and be entertained.
Are you not entertained?
I wanted to kill myself.
I still do.
That's what you did, Batista.
Yeah.
Not Batista, Zack Snyder. But you also gave me one of my top 5 favourite of the year. So.
Yeah, so swings and roundabouts.
Whatever.
But the levels of good and bad is like not equal.
Because like one of those isn't my favourite of all time, and one of those is my least favourite movie in the history of film. But I don't even know. I don't know.
But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Pa 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 pa.
Puck me.
Poo poo movies. Fuck Vin Diesel. Yep. Paul Walker. Peace.